Okay, out there, wherever you are. What I want to do is just do a quick supplemental video from today. We covered the balance sheet. Inside of assets, we didn't mention this, but it's in the chapter, it's in the PowerPoint. There's other current assets, which is obviously not current, so they would be things that are not current. Other current assets sometimes we call long-term assets, again referring to assets that are not current. And you pretty much are at liberty to put almost anything into these categories that you want that are not current liabilities. There are not many hard and fast rules. It's just a question of the duration of the asset. Again, assets that are current are able to be converted into cash or near cash equivalents during the next 12 months. They should be placed in current. However, if they're not, then you would put them into these other categories. And of course, there's the famous property, plant, and that's your fixed assets. Property, plant, equipment. Also known as fixed assets. All right, so far so good. The other thing to realize is that in these other assets, these long-term other asset categories, however you want to categorize them, however you feel you want to do it, sometimes we have something called a sinking fund. Not to be confused with the stinking fund, which is what sewer companies call some of their assets, or garbage companies. So this is the sinking fund. This is an old terminology, really old. I remember it learning it in school, and I'm surprised they still teach it because it's hardly ever used today, at least in these terms. It refers to a accumulation of money or assets that are being built up over time for a specific purpose. So it's usually a cash account, and that's earmarked by management for specific use, like buying new equipment or retiring debt. Could be any number of reasons, specific use. And it's usually building up over time, so it takes time to get there. And particularly, most of the time, it's a designation by management. Sometimes it's not just the management of the company, but sometimes it's bank or creditor created, or I should say bank or creditor requirement. Famous one that we see quite a bit is what's called replacement reserves. Money set aside for fixing equipment, fixing building, fixing something, replacing something, as the title described. So this would most likely not be current. It would be maybe in the other or long term, because it's not expected to be utilized as cash during the current year. And it's not available to pay debts. That's the other thing that causes the sinking fund idea to go into other assets, is it's by virtue of its designation or its requirement by a bank, it's not available to pay debts, not available for the first or the next 12 months from the balance sheet date, and so therefore it's not current. It's just not available. It will sometime be used. Don't make that mistake. It will sometime be used, but at the moment, it's just not. Okay.